and that we have been designed with purpose, for a reason, with specificity. When the maker designs a product, the maker has something specific in mind. It was not just, oh, I'll just kind of stumble upon it. It was a specific thing that was meant to be solved by this product. You have been designed to solve a problem. I want you to stop thinking about problems as walls. Perhaps problems are doors. The best thing that ever happened to David was Goliath. Were there no Goliath, David would have never been king. Because yes, he was anointed king in his home, but if you read the story, he was anointed king. They brought him out of the sheepfold. Samuel looked at him and said, okay, this is God's anointed him, and guess where he went? Right back to the sheepfold. It was not until he won the battle against Goliath that people took notice and said, wait a minute, this man can be our king. And so the problem directly related not just to the product, but to the purpose. You've been designed to solve a problem. Most of us run from problems rather than running to them. Every great business is built on a problem. Every great business is built on. There would not be billionaires or great business, billion-dollar industries where there's no problem. The problem is what gave rise to the invention. There would be no need for this product to speed up a computer network if there wasn't a problem with the network being slow. So the first thing I want you to think about with purpose is that your purpose is connected to a problem. Go ahead and write that down. Your purpose is connected to a problem. Your purpose, let me just write that down, is connected to a problem. So you should ask yourself, what are the problems that are around me that grieve me the most? So I'm going to give you a question that I want you to write down. I'm going through notes here. What grieves you the most? Two people can see the same thing, one person not be bothered by it. I don't know if I gave you an example before about this was back when I was in school, but we went on a little trip, I remember. Did I tell you about that? We were all eating at the restaurant, and I did tell you that, and I ordered veal, or wanted to order veal, and the girl next to me got upset.
Yeah,
you know what they do to the bed?
And you still ordered the veal?
I didn't. I told him, hold it for the back though, that'll be the goat. I told the waitress, that's the goat, we here. I don't. But the point is this, she was grieved by something I was not. So instead of arguing over the problem and arguing over the fact of me being grieved and she not being grieved, perhaps that's a clue to what she was designed to solve. I wasn't designed to solve the issue of animal brutality. So your grievance gives you a clue into what you've been designed to do. What am I grieved by? What bothers me? What bothers me? I heard it said like this: what grieves you is a clue to what you are assigned to heal. Purpose connected to problem. Purpose.
Grievance gives you a clue to what you are assigned to heal.
Yes. Purpose is connected to your difference. This product has to be unique to solve the problem. Our similarities give us comfort, but our differences bring us rewards. Remember that. You're never going to get paid for what you do like somebody else. You get paid for what you do differently than somebody else. Steve Jobs said, don't tell me what you can do. Don't tell me you can do it better. Tell me how you can do it differently. You're going to get paid for your difference. Your purpose is connected to your difference. The things that make you different then your brother, your sister, then the people that you've gone to school with, then the folks you've grown up with, then the people that are in your immediate circle. That's the thing that gives you a clue to your purpose. You were designed with intent. So the thing that makes this product different was designed by the maker purposely to solve the problem that it was created to solve. Because if it was like every other piece of equipment that was electronic, then it could not solve the problem. So the second question you need to ask yourself after what grieves me is, how am I different? This isn't an arrogant, not in a sense of arrogance. You know, I'm different because I'm, you know, I've heard people say, some guy just told me this in this seminar I did earlier this week. He said, well, I don't like to think of myself as being different. I'm the same as everybody else. So I asked him, I said, you know, are you married? He said, well, yeah. And then he smiled because he knew where I was going with that. I doubt that you approach that young lady with this statement of, I'm just like everybody else, because why would she marry you? Your purpose is connected to a place. This won't work in water. It's not that it's anything wrong with the water, or even anything wrong with the product in itself. It's just that when the product is placed in the wrong place, it will not be effective. For some of us, we're in the wrong place, be that geographically or be that with the people that we are around.
Why?
John Osteen, who's the father of Joel Osteen, wrote a book called A Place Called There. A Place Called There. If you read the stories of great men and women, you will notice that in their life there was always a pivotal time where they were called to a place. You have not been called to the world. I know people say that. Who's this book for? It's for everybody, but it's for nobody. People, a designer or a manufacturer understands who this product is for. If you don't have a computer, guess what? No. This product is not useful to you. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with understanding that you will not be appreciated, liked, acknowledged, or recognized, or even understood in certain places. That's fine. But you need to understand that, because I've got to understand that my purpose is connected to a place. It's not everywhere. Some of you, I'm going to tell you now, should not be in New York. Everybody that moves here don't need to be here. And place is not for all time. It's a period. So maybe you should have been there then. And I've seen this happen with people. Because they come here for a reason, which was probably great and probably part of the purpose, and then they overstayed their welcome. And so years have gone by, and they're stuck in this place, literally stuck in their mind and stuck going around the same mountain because they have refused to move to a different place. Remember we talked about how great companies have the ability to reposition themselves? People have to know how to reposition. Purpose is connected to timing. This product would not have been effective before the computer was invented. In fact, the manufacturer perhaps wouldn't even thought about it. The entire company of Intel came about because of the computer age. Your time is just as important, or your timing. Your timing is connected to your purpose, or your purpose is connected to your timing. That's why people who are living the purpose-driven life and purpose-filled life understand seasons. There are seasons. There are seasons, we already talked about this, there's seasons that you can plant and seasons that you can expect to harvest. And life is the same way. They understand, people who are living with purpose understand every time is not equal. 10 years ago might not have worked for me, and if I wait another 10 years, it may not be effective. If I wait another year, it may not happen. There are certain things that happen beyond you. When we talk about purpose, we talk about it from a purely individualistic point of view. It's, oh, well, you're different and that's your purpose, and that's great. That's a start. But some of your purpose is bigger than you. You don't have a control, I mean, you don't have control of the differences, but it's specific at least, but you don't have control over timing. There are things that could occur. Remember I gave you the analogy of politics. There are things that happen beyond, for those people that are, kind of get into elections, particularly presidential elections, they call things, sometimes they call the October surprise. Sometimes there are things or events that happen that have nothing to do with the 1 or 2 or 3 people running, but it will affect how that person is received. It's the same way with you in your life. There are things that are happening timing-wise in the atmosphere, in the realm, in the country, in the world that are affecting, take the Me Too movement. I forget the woman's name who founded it. I forget her name. But this is the timing for it. It's now being talked about more than ever before. Would this have worked 5 years ago? Probably not. She understood this is the timing. Your assignment will require periods of preparation, periods of isolation, periods where it looks like it ain't gonna work. There's an old scripture that says, unless a grain of wheat abides alone, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground, it abides alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. There is a cycle in life, if you think about it, our world, that death leads to life. The fly dies so the frog can live. The fish dies so the man can eat it and live. There takes a death to be a rebirth. And so the season of preparation is often a season of death. For many of us in this room, we've gone through seasons of death. Relationships died. Perhaps some hopes died, dreams died. That was that time of preparation. Don't discount that moment. Don't discount that season, because it took those moments of preparation to push you into your purpose. I heard someone say it like this: you might be born, a king might be born to rule, but he has to be trained to reign. Think about what's going on right over in England. William, who is the son of Charles, who is the son of the reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth, they may have been born with the birthright to one day rule the kingdom, but being born in itself did not give them the preparation that it takes to live out their purpose. So when many of us, what happens is we start with, oh, I have this great gift, and we don't prepare it. We have not cultivated it. Some people stop right at the basic level. Oh, I have a gift of speaking, and perhaps you do. And that gift will always take you somewhere because you have, but if it's never cultivated, you'll remain on the bottom ground of it. Because it's not been cultivated. If I have the gift to write, I've got to take classes. I've got to get around people that are writing these winning screenplays. I've got to watch movies and watch it with the eye of how is it being directed and how are the characters working, because I've got to be prepared to go into my purpose. Every great person went through a season of preparation. It's only people who are dealing in arrogance, denial, and delusion that think that they are born
with that
already with the capacity to live out their purpose. You are born with the predisposition to live out your purpose, but you are not born yet with the tools and skills fully developed that it is going to take to move into your purpose. It takes preparation to become a LeBron James. He was gifted with the natural ability to be athletic and the natural ability to have hand-eye coordination, with the natural ability to be a trait of being tall. But it took a season and many seasons of preparation to hone his skills, to drive his skills, to hone his focus, to get him to be able to know the things that he does and to be able to do it well. The same way with us. That your purpose is connected to how have I prepared myself? Preparation prevents poor performance. I'm sure y'all have heard that before.
Yes.
I've heard it said this way.
Preparation prevents
Poor performance. What is it? Preparation prevents poor performance. I've heard it's the 5 P's. Yeah. Preparation prevents poor performance.
Preparation prevents.
I'll just say poor performance. Just in case
you're being prepared for.
Because you have to be prepared in order to say, now I'm moving into this. So that the question you need to ask yourself is, how have I prepared myself? How have I been prepared? Or am I prepared? This is where mentorship comes in. This is where practice comes in. This is where training comes in. This is where education comes in. This is where certifications, licensing. Because I'm being prepared.
Yeah.
Purpose is connected to levels. There are levels of purpose. I'm old enough to remember the Nintendo. That was my favorite, when I came up, the Nintendo.
Right.
Super Mario 3. You would go from level to level. When you beat one level, you don't keep playing that same level. It takes you to the next level. And it takes you to the next level. And it takes you to the next level. And in life, why is it that many of us are content with the one level? We're content with being right where we are. Take us again. We're content with being right where we are. And so what happens is the levels stay the same, and so we're never able to unlock, just like the game on Nintendo, with every level that I go on, it unlocks something different. There's different features at each level. So remember, I'm bringing this full circle. Remember I told you the manual to the product. It starts with the image. It goes to the features. Every feature is not going to be unlocked on the first level. You are expecting your entire repertoire of gifts to be shown, but you're on the ground level. You don't even need it at the ground level. What do you need binoculars for when you're on the ground level? You don't need binoculars till you get up in the skyscraper and you're all the way at the top, and now you gotta see the people down. What happens is we have these features that we've been gifted with, but because we're at one level, they never get unlocked. And while purpose connected to levels, we end up staying at the one level, not unlocking the purpose. Now bringing this full circle, and I'm coming right to questions, is that this. You will succeed, and I want you to write this down, when your purpose becomes your obsession. You will succeed when your purpose becomes your obsession. When this is no longer, well, if I get to it, I get to it. When this is, you are obsessed with living this, that's when you'll begin to change your life.
You will succeed when?
Your purpose becomes your obsession. That's when you will begin to truly succeed. When it becomes to that place where you must, need, have to.
What do you do when you just don't, you want more? It's like,
I'm going to come to, hold on one second, I got you. When it becomes an obsession, your purpose becomes your absolute obsession. You are obsessed with looking and saying, where are their problems? I remember the old meme. There was a meme that, y'all know what I'm talking about when I say meme, right? Those are those internet, you might see a picture with these words that are on it that goes around the internet. And I remember when Dr. Dre sold beats for, over 3.2 billion, he made 800 million.
Absolutely.
It was a meme going around the internet that said, it was somebody looking in their closet, they said, search in my house to see what I have that Apple might need from me.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, and it was funny, but it's some truth to it, because when you start to think about purpose, you start to look for problems. Now, I don't mean, see, we're talking two different types of problems. I'm not talking about problems where I got a difference with this person and I got an issue with them and we want to fight. I ain't talking about that type of problem. I'm talking about problems that lead to solutions that now you start seeing, maybe this is, so now, remember I gave you the example of Reed Hastings, who instead of just getting angry about the late fee at Blockbuster, started Netflix. Because he said, I have a better way of doing this. I want to create a system where there are no late fees. He saw a problem. Jeff Bezos saw a problem. There's all these great products, but people are busy. People don't want to drive to the store. People don't want to walk around the aisles and shop. So the problem led to him creating this multi-billion-dollar business. When your purpose, your assignment becomes your obsession, you begin to look for problems. You begin to recognize your differences. You begin to take notice of a place. What placement, what environment I'm in. You begin to notice the timing more. What's happening in the world now that was not happening 20 years ago, 100 years ago, that may not happen 40 years from now? How can I seize on it? You begin to prepare yourself because I have something that I'm here for. I'm not just here on accident by, serendipity, and you begin to say to yourself, I want to get to the next level. Purpose.